And joining us right now is Mukesh Aghi, who is the President and CEO of USISPF. Mukesh, thank you again so much for speaking with us. First things first, a lot of excitement. Prime Minister Modi is coming here. You have a big event going on here. Tell us about this event.
Well, the event is all about looking at our US-India relationship. How do you take that relationship forward? It could be geopolitical, it could be on trade side, it could be on technology transfer side, or it could be people to people. So the objective is to bring in experts, talk about it, and then see how we can execute on that.
A lot of discussions around tariffs and reciprocal tariffs. What is your anticipation? Like, what could we see happen that could probably take place tomorrow with President Trump and Prime Minister Modi?
Well, India has lowered certain tariffs, and I think, but the expectation is higher. And so my thinking is basically Prime Minister Modi is going to sit down and understand U.S. position and shows some amount of flexibility. Anything you do has to be win for both countries. And so I think there's enough maturity and depth between the two leaders. They'll find a solution which is win-win for both sides.
What other areas would be talked about? I mean, President Trump, when he was running, he had talked about Hindus in Bangladesh and trying to take care of that. Now, for India, it's concerning because you've got borders with Pakistan and China and Bangladesh. Do you think those topics would also feature?
Well, geopolitics is going to come in, and I think China is going to be a big point of discussion. Yes, Pakistan and Bangladesh will come in, but they are not as big on the Trump agenda. And so I do expect some discussion on Bangladesh. I think Pakistan is not significant enough to have that discussion itself. But overall, geopolitically, they'll talk about Ukraine, India's role in Ukraine itself. They'll talk about Russian oil. So energy discussion will be critical because I think with the US having a surplus, they're looking at how do you bring that surplus down. And India buying LNG and others can bring that trade surplus down in favor of the U.S.
Which is going to be my next question. India has made concessions. India is opening up. They could buy even coal, oil, the gas. Those things, obviously, something that India might be buying from the U.S. The transactional, approach to this relationship, has been. People have been talking about it. What does India get in return?
Well, I think you have to understand, India needs substantial capital from the U.S. India needs technology transfer from the U.S. India needs to have its employees, professionals, be able to move freely and provide those services. So I think those also will be discussed. And de-risking from China is critical for U.S. companies, so they will leverage that also. So I think when you look at from every aspect, India will come out in a better position. So will the U.S. So I think the whole objective of the meeting is how do you find a common ground which benefits people of both nations.
One last question, how different will it be? He visited the U.S. in September. He's coming back here in January. How different will it be with the new administration? I'm not talking President Trump, I'm talking the new administration because we've seen a lot of, especially when it comes to immigration, a lot of Republicans, not wanting as many as foreign workers in the U.S. So do you think that will be touched upon, and how different it will be for the Indian government to work with President Trump and his administration?
Well, you have to understand illegal immigration. Basically, both India has very clearly said to the U.S., we will take back all the illegal Indians who are there in the U.S. itself. I think on legal migration, there will be discussion because U.S. needs them. The U.S. companies need them. And so I think from that perspective, I believe that they'll find a more efficient way to provide that need. Yes, there is a base which is very much against it. They may find a solution by saying, okay, we'll recruit less on F&B and go directly into universities and bring in people who are doing PhD in STEM, graduate program in STEM. So U.S. companies need talent, so they will find a solution either through H-1B or through the straight going to universities in the U.S. itself.
Thank you so much. It's always a pleasure talking to you. Prime Minister Modi will be arriving in Washington, D.C. in a couple of hours from now, and all eyes are set at Washington, D.C. What happens next when President Trump and Prime Minister Modi meet for the 8th time here in Washington, D.C. This is Rohit Sharma for India Today.